Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. I thought it was about time we answered that big question. Do I need a catch can, or do you need a catch can? I know some people are having a giggle because they already know. The people that watch and listen, not only, it's not my opinion, it's my explanation of the systems, explaining the difference between the crankcase ventilation system and the EGR system on whatever engine it may be. You need to understand two different systems, and the catch can does not solve the problem. There's a lot of pros and cons with catch cans. I think the reason a lot of people want to sell them to you, it's all motivated by money and profits. They're quite expensive for what they are. As I've explained, there's a lot of information. You need to search our channel. I think we might even have a playlist on it, catch can information or something like that. And you know what, at the end of this video I'm going to go and check, and if we don't, I'm going to make one. I'm going to make a playlist, and I'll search up all the videos we've got on catch can or crankcase ventilation, positive crankcase ventilation, EGR. You need to watch all those videos to understand the two different systems. So let's start off. Why do people even want or think about getting a catch can? So why are we even asking the question? So let's not even, like some people think, oh, it's a big thing, it's like an argument, or there's two sides to the story. Well, there's not two sides to the story. It's really simple. The one side to the story is, it's a bit of an old bad habit, I suppose, you know what I mean? Or maybe some older engines, they burnt more oil. The way the system was, there was more in the catch can. Maybe that was helpful. As an engine gets older, maybe it's helpful. Some types of engines, some performance engines, they need a catch can, they need to feed it back into the sump. So that's a different story. But the reason people are putting the catch can on an engine, on a diesel engine, is because they believe that is the cause. They think that is actually the solution to the problem of having a caked up intake. But what you got to understand is, the real problem is the exhaust gas recirculation. It's all that black soot. And what it's from people that really haven't looked after their diesels for a start, because it's got to be, the dirtier it's running, the more soot there is in the combustion for a start. So the cleaner it is, the newer it is, the better it is, and it'll stay cleaner because you've got less. Just think, if you've got a lot of black stuff blown at the tailpipe, you're going to have a dirtier EGR intake system. Okay, exhaust gas recirculation. What's in the exhaust gas? Burnt exhaust gas is exactly that. So the first thing you need to understand is, the better you keep your engine in tune and running clean, the better the cleaner your intake's going to be. It's going to be one of the big contributors. Okay, it's that exhaust soot is what is the problem. That's what is that rubbish. The oil, the very small amount of oil. Well, let me say, if there was a small amount of oil, the intake probably isn't going to cake up, but that rubbish is still going through your engine. That's why it doesn't solve the problem. If there was a lot of oil going through your engine, it kind of washes it through like self-cleaning. It's when the balance is just right, and that balance is, exhaust gases and a little bit of oil, that's when you start to get the build up. It's got to be an even mix. I've explained it before, and I use the example of, I don't know if you want to be crumb and fish, whiting fillets, or whether you want to be crumb and chicken, making your own chicken strips, chicken tenderloins. You've got your egg thing, and you've got your crumb mix with your 11 secret herbs and spices, and if you put too much egg and not enough crumb, it's just going to run off, right? Well, that's like the oil. Too much oil, not enough soot, and vice versa. If you've got a whole heap of crumb and no egg, it's not going to really stick either, is it? You know what I mean? So it's about getting the balance right, and in this case, you don't want to get the balance right, and you don't want to be feeding, just like dust, dry abrasive soot through your engine. That is obviously not good for it. So the problem we got is, people think the catch can is going to solve that problem, and quite often it doesn't. Okay, sometimes it helps. If it takes all the oil out, of course the soot isn't going to stick to the intake. Okay, but if it doesn't take all the oil out, it's still, it's going to act as the glue for all that soot to stick to the intake. Now, there's something else we need to think about or discuss, or get you thinking about, and that is, a catch can wasn't really designed to take oil out. Just like a crankcase ventilation system, it doesn't really have much oil come through the system, particularly in newer vehicles and healthy engines. And that's proven by how much comes out. And some people will want to convince you that there's a lot coming out, but just think, where does the oil come from? The oil comes from the sump. So that dipstick there, that's the oil. It's in the engine, and it's basically the ventilation at the top of the engine is where that oil, there's a bit of oil fumes in it, but it was actually designed more to take out a little bit the gases, but mainly the moisture, the water. Okay, so your engine's running on air. Okay, that's what's all around us here, air. What's in air? Moisture. And it varies depending on what area you are, and every engine's different, and everybody's running conditions are different as well. So whether you do short trips, cold starts, it never gets warmed up, that may vary how much water you'll get in there. Now, is water a problem? No. Water in the intake, unless it's a whole heap in your air filter there, unplanned, it isn't a problem. It's actually good, a bit of moisture, because cold, dense air, moisture, you know, performance vehicles, another performance mod is water sprayers, not just externally onto intercoolers and stuff like that, but a little bit of water into the intake sometimes, okay? That's another story. But so we're talking about what, 10 mil, 20 mil, 50 mil of moisture or oil, not oil, mainly water, every 5 or 10,000 k's. There's a lot of air that's gone through through the engine in that time, so you can pretty easily understand that the bit of moisture is not a problem. So there's no reason to have a catch can for the moisture. Just leave that in the intake. The small amount of oil it's collecting is a waste of time. It's generally not taking it all out. It's going to leave enough there for it to act as the glue to cake that EGR soot to the intake. So it's not going to solve your problem. It's probably going to cost you quite a few $100 plus installation. It's going to be under your engine bay, something else in the way that's untidy. The real problem is the exhaust gas, the exhaust gases, and the solution to that is quite simple, and it is very simple. All the manufacturers now have to have vehicles fitted with DPFs. At the back of the DPF, around here, so the DPF's around here on this side of this engine. At the back of the DPF, exhaust gases are clean, okay? So we always said, imagine EGR, but can you just put a filter on there? Or some other heat pump that makes heated air that you want to... It's a whole nother story about why EGR is there. That's another video, guys. Watch the other older videos. It is explained, it's all there. We're going to start doing things again though, because I know there's a lot of new people. Back when that got done, maybe there was 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers, okay? Now there's 22 or 23,000 subscribers, and growing it up to 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers a month, and that rate's growing also. So obviously, if you haven't subscribed now, turn the bell on so you don't miss that awesome information, and share the channel with your friends, because as it grows, we're going to make better, detailed, better quality videos. They could just take the exhaust gases from after the DPF back here and plumb that back to the EGR system, and you wouldn't have any soot problems. You wouldn't have any caking up. How simple is that? It's so simple. If these manufacturers can build an engine and all the systems around this and make that work, that is an easy thing for them to do. I don't know why they don't do it. Maybe a Toyota representative or someone can tell us, why don't you do it? Why don't you be the first to do it? You can be the first to have clean EGR systems. Then there's no need for AdBlue or any of that business. There's no need for dirty, caked up intakes. And we're going to have, obviously, people don't need to worry about, because it's a big, because once people understand it's the EGR system, then they want to have that shut off. You want to shut off the EGR system, and I can understand it, because in my honest opinion, I believe an EGR system, a caked up engine, an engine that's not running right, can't breathe properly, and putting those, it just doesn't balance out, okay? It's rob Peter to pay Paul. Obviously it's a legal thing where manufacturers have to do that, and you can't disable that. If you have it switched off and you get caught, there's going to be fines, depending what state you're in. I've said it before, I'm not the lawyer on, I'm not telling you what you're allowed to do or not. It's up to you, but a lot of people insert EGR flow reduction devices which still allow the system to work, but it balances out so so that the intake system doesn't get blocked up. You know, on the 1 kD FTV, the plate with a 7mm hole that goes between the head and the EGR cooler. You know, on these engines, I think there's a plate with a 13 or 14mm hole. Goes where it goes. You know, that's all available in another video and other information. That's why you stay tuned. I'm just trying to explain, you know, the whole catch can thing. Some people are worried about the water. They think they need a catch can because someone, I don't know, someone told me there's a place called Bury My Diesel or something like that. I've never really heard of it, but apparently they, you know, make people worried about needing catch cans because of water in there or oil in there or whatever. So I don't know who they are and what they go on about, but I suggest maybe they just want to sell a catch can because, I don't know, do you see any catch can here? I don't see any catch cans on any of the vehicles I work on. I shouldn't say any, you get the odd one. And you know, people are generally quite embarrassed because they watch the videos and they now understand that it's a completely separate system. Now let's quickly talk about, what about, you know, there's pros and cons. The problems they can cause, the filters can become blocked, okay? So if you've got a problem with your engine or whatever the case may be, you could have even more problems because if there is a lot of oil there as it gets older and it fills up and you don't maintain it, then that can't do its job. Also, filters can become blocked for other reasons. Hoses can become kinked. So you can have the situation where your engine can pop seals and create other leaks and other problems because either the hoses are kinked or the filter's blocked, or whatever the case may be. You use your imagination. I don't need to go over it again, do I? We've talked about it before, but we've gone over this again because people are still asking, can you please fit my catch can? And my answer is no, I will not fit a catch can. And I probably won't really remove a catch can either. You can do it yourself. It's pretty straightforward. Generally, there's a pipe that goes from your valve cover to somewhere, like the turbo or the intake. Every engine's going to vary a little bit, but very similar. And if you've got a catch can, it's kind of like, it's just something in the line. You just need to remove those lines and that catch can, bypass it and go direct from A to C the way it was before. It used to be A to B and then it went A, B, C. You've got to take B out of the picture and straight from A to C, which to be like it was before was A to B, right? Just A to B. So yeah, we recommend not wasting your time or money on catch cans. And there's a lot of people also, there's another place called Berrima Diesel or something like that, in Berrima, New South Wales. There's a lot of people that like to compare myself and Berrima Diesel. Oh, I check them out for good information. Chalk and cheese, guys, okay? The good information's here. Don't follow anyone else. You need to choose who you're going to follow. Either don't follow me and follow them, or follow me and don't follow them, or find someone else to follow because it's very confusing. There's few people around that are, you know, that's why I choose to demonstrate, and I've demonstrated in other videos. I've explained how it works. The EGR, like I've done now, the EGR system is completely independent to the crankcase ventilation. Why is the crankcase ventilation there? So we've already sort of touched on it. The moisture in the combustion, certain amount of the combustion blows past the rings. The rings can't be 100% sealed. So what goes past the rings into the sump? Okay, a bit of pressure, okay, a bit of moisture, a bit of soot from the oil, you know, the air. So you get a bit of everything that's in there. A little bit goes through into the bottom. And that's what the ventilation's there for, because just think about this, moisture, water and oil. Have you ever tried to mix it? Not a good mix. Everybody's seen, or probably seen or heard of the old, you know, the radiator, the cooling system, for whatever reason, whether it's in the radiator or the transmission or whatever, those oils mixing, or the engine oil and water, it makes a milkshake, right? And the same glugginess happens. Plus you want to get any of the fumes out. It doesn't really matter. That's not the big thing. It's really the moisture, generally. Getting any fumes and gases out type thing, you know, crankcase gases, not a big deal, but there can be some nasties there and you may as well get out what you can. So you want a really free-flowing crankcase ventilation system, CV, crankcase ventilation, PCV, whatever you like. It is slightly positive, so I like to call it a PCV, although there's less vacuum on a diesel compared to a you know, petrol engine. Whatever, understand it, guys. I hope I've explained it again. I hope you like that. Please give it the thumbs up and check out the other videos. Catch can, do I need a catch can? Search PCV, crankcase ventilation, stuff like that on our channel, if it's our channel you're following, okay? And let us know. Bada bing, bada boom. If you liked it, thumbs up, subscribe, turn the bell on. Heaps more videos coming your way, one a day. Just one piece of the million-piece jigsaw puzzle. And if you've missed a few, maybe it's time now to go and watch a few extras, guys. Thanks for watching. Check out our playlists. There's a lot of subheadings there, and there's going to be more helping you find the information you want more easily. See you guys. Thanks.